Today's tutorial is going to be embossing with heat and then using your markers to color in to make a nice design. So what I'm going to show you is how you emboss and then color. It's a very simple technique. First, you're going to start with some crumb cake paper from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to tilt this down so you can see it. I'm going to use my Whisper White crafting from Stampin' Up and a stamp from the Delicate Doilies set, also from Stampin' Up. And I've used my acrylic block just so I can see exactly where I'm going to be placing these cuts. So I ink up my stamp, and you want to make sure that it's evenly inked. So if you're not quite sure, just take your ink pad and dab it down, especially in the middle. Oops. And if you see that you have some ink around the edges here, just wipe it off, because there is a chance that that might transfer and you really don't want that part to show. Okay, so go ahead and stamp that. Okay, and then stamp again. And one more time. Oops, pardon me. Okay, then set that aside. Now you're quickly, while the ink is still wet, you're going to put some white embossing powder over it. And you can just put that in your powder pal and shake the embossing powder over it. Make sure it's fully covered and pull it out and tap it off. Tap off any of the excess. Okay, go ahead and set that aside. Now you're going to use your heat gun to melt the embossing powder and set it. And this part does take a few seconds, but you'll see it turn from an opaque to a very solid white. And yes, the paper will kind of bend as you are heating up whatever moisture is in it, but it will, once you glue it down, it will glue flat. Okay, and you want to make sure that you don't overheat the paper, because if you concentrate on one area too long, it can singe it. Okay. Well, see, that's all done. See, now you have a nice, bright, crisp white background on the crumb cake paper. Now I'm going to use my two colors. I'm going to use Cherry Cobbler and then Night of Navy to color in any area that you want. And the nice thing about the embossing powder is because it is smooth, and if you color on it, the ink will kind of fall back within its borders, and it won't stay on top of the embossing powder once it's heated. So just quickly, you don't have to spend a lot of time coloring it all in, but and you don't need to be completely stay within the lines, because the embossing powder does give you such a nice raised edge to it. And so you're just going to go around and color all of the parts that you wish to color. I like the Delicate Doilies for this set because it does give a lot of definition, and you can do a lot with this technique. Okay, and then I'll do the Not Quite Navy and just go around. So you see how this is done. See, and I just missed a little bit. I got it on the embossing powder, but it just went right back into it. So it does take as much time as it does to color, and that's it. Other than that, this technique is very easy to replicate and to use on your own projects. So I will finish this up on the, and then I put a little dot in the middle, on the other two, but that's how you do the technique. And then you can embellish your card however you like. So good luck and happy stamping!